Yeah.
Did you watch? Did you guys didn't
No,
watch
I
any of the
didn't know
videos?
which one. No.
All right,
Which one
cool.
was it?
No, it's just it was a story, and the dad was just pretty much saying like, yo, he had to cut his son off because he wasn't invited to his grandson's birthday party.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
You saw that? You saw that? So it was just one. I wanted to get your perspectives on it because then we could have talked about it a little bit. However, the good thing is, there's other opportunities.
No, but you'd have to run the story so the viewers understand. So even if you go over the main premise of like what this, I was watching this and this that happened.
Right, but that's why if all three of us watched it, then it would be able to create the
dialogue
dialogue so that they understand.
Fair.
It was a long story. I can go through the synopsis, but I don't really want to.
Okay.
I don't really want to.
Well, we gotta hit the intro. Cause we've been recording for about 2 minutes now.
At least five.
All right.
At least five. Good evening. I think a good way to start out is that we take a nice little sip.
Yeah, why not?
All right, how about a little cheers?
Little cheers.
Gentlemen,
Hey.
cheers. There you go.
Welcome
fellas.
to episode 2 of What's the Purpose? Dad's Unscripted. I'm Chris.
I'm Dizzle.
We
Yeah,
got
Russ.
Hey, three of us
see.
are here. Dad's Unscripted.
Yes, sir.
Episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. It was a great time.
Yes.
I'm way better this time around.
There will be no coughs and
There will be
sneeze
no
to edits.
coughs or sneezing.
Did you realize Ross told me he said he had to edit
Hey,
your
no,
coughs?
When he said that, I was like, oh, the level of embarrassment that I felt. I was like, because I was the only one just coughing. I was not feeling well, but I am thankful that I'm better.
There's a bunch that I couldn't do anything with because it was right at the moment that one of us was talking, and I was like,
Yeah.
Can't do nothing
about that one.
Yeah,
But everyone that happened in between, I was like, snip,
Snip, snip.
mute. Snip, mute.
I appreciate it.
Mute.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
the best I could.
Did the best you could.
Hey,
It
I
worked out,
appreciate you. I appreciate you because, man, as mentioned in episode 1, I slept that next day to the fullest. We were talking about sleep from that episode in 3 hours. I blew whatever you guys were talking about. I blew that bad boy out the water the next day because I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And we talked about exhaustion and just how do you function? And I was out. I am so thankful that I got a chance to sleep.
Yeah.
I think I didn't wake up till afternoon. I slept. I did not hold back. I did not hold back. I just slept.
You almost feel like something's wrong when you get those type of sleeps. You ever wake up scared? You ever wake up and jump out of bed?
What time is it?
Yo,
What
trust
did
me.
I forget to do?
I had a moment like that on vacation. I was sleeping and I was slept till 8 o'clock. I jumped up.
What
What time is
what
it?
is happening?
I'm on vacation, bro. Like, what is going on here?
I had a reverse to that this morning.
Yeah.
My middle child, I don't know what dream or whatever she had, or she pulled a fast one. She's like, Daddy, can you lie down? Can you lie down with me, please? And I'm like, all right, I have 2 choices here. I can lie down on the ground with where their dolls and whatever are, which is reasonably comfortable. Or I'll be like, listen, set up the blanket, you go over here, sir, Daddy's going to be right here, and I'll get up and leave.
Yeah.
Let's just say that did not happen. And I was supposed to be up at 6:30. Bro, when I checked the clock, 8:35.
Jeez.
Missed no gym, no prepping, no nothing. I was
Missed
pissed.
the window, yeah.
Window gone. I was pissed.
So what you do? So in a moment like that, let's say you missed the gym. How do you make up for it? It's just that's it for the day?
I chalk it up to gained experience, man.
Oh,
Really?
man.
So what I end up doing sometimes is that I will go down into my basement
And do a workout. Yeah.
But today ended up being so much other stuff just happening and just stuff that I was like, I can't get down there.
Rest day.
I just
It's just a rest
I just call it what it is.
Yeah.
So with me now not having the plans that I thought I have tomorrow, I'm like, oh man,
Make it up.
I can get up and
Get
go
up and go.
to the gym,
Fair,
do whatever I need to do, get that workout in. Because just like you, I'm trying to go away, or correction, I am going away in August. So we're going on a cruise.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Bahamas cruise, and because of the location stopping in Miami,
Yeah.
So we're gonna check out Miami for a couple nights, and we go on the cruise for a couple nights, and then come back and don't pick up the kids for a couple nights.
That's
So it allows for that's the
It's a good
takeaway,
time.
right?
Yeah,
You
good
come
time.
back
Good time.
because you didn't make it. You're on vacation. That's
Yeah.
fine. Ras, we got to bring you out to camping one year.
Oh, okay.
We got to bring you out to camping. We got to bring you out to camping.
Next year.
Next year? I'm
Yeah,
done.
next year.
I'm done. We can
We'll
pod
cross
that camping.
We're getting our numbers are getting too high.
I know.
Our numbers are getting too high. We have to remember. We got to keep in mind, like we don't want to have like forced. Like right now, we're up to 3 sites.
Yeah.
That's a lot. 3 sites are a lot to find,
Make it a
especially
little
to
men's
find.
retreat.
It is no, I'm not against the men's retreat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you got to keep in mind it's the setup of the site, right? The setup, the vibe is where. See, like how we try and create a vibe here.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
It's easier to set it up here because hey, somebody's house, they know how to set it up. But for parks, you don't know where you're gonna get.
Yeah.
True.
But
But the
the-
elements also work against you too.
It's
Which
true.
happened this
It's
year.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
happened
yeah.
this year.
It rained?
Brother,
Yeah.
it rained. Thankfully, as you know, family, we come prepared. We had our tarps and
Tarps, yeah,
all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah,
We had
yeah.
the mans are out there with the straps,
Yeah.
tighten up the thing, like everything tighten up, and it was good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but man, not having certain things out there was
Yeah.
tough.
Last year, I remember it rained, but we were covered by the trees.
Right.
So we didn't even get that much.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty proper still, but like, yeah, if there's the first site we went to, there was like negative trees.
Yeah.
Yo, the first time I went with them,
Yeah, you didn't get the best experience.
yo, it was. And I enjoyed myself. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. But
Yeah.
there was one night specifically where the winds were blowing hard.
Yo.
And I was right under a tree, and I was like praying. I was like, please God, don't make this tree drop.
I remember that.
Yo.
'Cause we were I remember that. Funny enough, that I never mentioned this for camping that night, but
Yeah.
I'll say it now. Based on where I was positioned, there was either some leaf or some bush
Yeah.
that was against my tent
Yeah.
that it sounded like animals. So it's just shh, shh, shh. I thought they were going back and at one point my eyes are open wide like this. I'm like, yo, what is outside?
What
tent?
beast
It
is walking around?
And yo, I looked at my clock at the phone for the time.
Oh, man.
I'm like, yo, it is 3:30 in the morning. I ain't going out there. Like that can be whatever it is. Finally fell asleep. Want to wake up the next morning and be like, it was some leaf or some. The winds
Yeah,
are
just
going
running this-
that.
just
Right,
rustling, rustling,
Yo,
yeah.
it was so frustrating. But yeah, we got to get you out. That's perfectly fine.
Good.
Um,
I'm down for it.
I can't believe that I'm a camping guy now. For years, I was against it.
And it's the authentic camping, like tents.
The
Yes.
only thing we cheat a little because we have electricity still.
Okay.
That's
all
not
right,
cheating.
All right.
That's not cheating.
That's not
It's
one of the people
available.
where, like people go poop in like a
But
hole.
see that's so we got to give so I want to make sure I give
I'm
context.
not doing that type of
Listen,
thing.
that's bro. I gotta give context because
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, like for example, talking to any ladies or even other people, they be like, "Yo, I'm not going there because I don't want to dig a hole or whatever."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Listen, if what we do is not considered pre-glamping, then I don't know what it is because
Yeah.
it has to have proper running water.
Right.
We have they call the comfort stations and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We have a proper site that, as Daniel said, we have electricity. We run our lights. We like the light. The vibe is
Yeah, the vibe is impeccable.
there.
Yeah.
You know what we're gonna do?
It's
I'm gonna
proper.
send you a picture.
Yeah.
And for when this episode pops up,
Yeah,
you're just
I
gonna
was gonna
pop
say,
up a
yeah,
video,
yeah,
pop,
a picture.
pop up one picture,
Yeah,
two
yeah,
picture,
yeah.
three picture of the vibe of
Yeah.
how we go camping. Because that's how we do it.
The way we had the car, I think we had like the way that we strung up the lights
Mm-hmm.
around the site. So during the night, like when it's pitch black, we have
Yeah.
the lights and,
And
our area is
It's
lit
just
up.
lit up.
I was saying that one day we should bring a little like center rug or something out there, a little center like like a little rug or something like
Okay.
that, something that like you can like kind of like lay out it, like
Yeah.
like where we're gonna be at. I don't know because it just looks like it would fit the vibe, like just how
So
it
it's
is.
funny you mentioned rug because when you have a camper,
Yeah.
a rug is like an automatic at the front.
At the front, yeah.
Right, because the
Yeah.
lights run around the camper a certain
Exactly,
way.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
So here's the part that's funny is that the experience that you had, I would almost consider that if it's on a of all experiences so far has been 4, that would be number 4 for the one that you experienced. The ones that we've had since, like I've learned a lot about how to run the lights. I went out and I got paracord.
Yeah.
So I'm running it around the trees
Yeah,
using
yeah,
this
yeah.
ratchets, tighten that bad boy up. So once you run it, it ain't going nowhere.
It is a good experience to learn all that stuff, to kind of see. Because the first time we went camping, I had no idea. Like, I was just like, what do I bring? This, that, whatever. And then now it's kind of like, last time I was better, so I know the next time going forward I'll be better. Because even my tent, I went and just got a whatever kind of tent. I used it 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it's literally like me, my mattress, and my bag. That's all I can fit in there.
Nothing.
You know? Whereas like the rest of these guys have like, they can stand up in their tents and all type of stuff. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, yo,
Bro, I'm gonna so for context,
facts.
You're like, hey,
No, because I just got the tent. You know, it was cheap. It was
so
like
whatever.
$40 for the tent.
Yeah.
Right, and it was new, and it was just like, all right, whatever. It's solid. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would still use it again. But like, if you want to get ready in your tent and comfortably, like you want one of those ones. You need like a 10-person tent for like one person.
Hey, cheers, me here. Because you know who just picked up a 10-person tent and used it? This man
This
right
guy.
here. This guy. Bro. 'Cause remember the tent that I had?
Yeah.
I thought that tent would have been fine. I was struggling just like you. And I said, nope, I'm not about that. I went out and I looked, and don't get me wrong, I was very budget minded. So I ended up getting one pre-owned, which I was happy about. So I ended up getting a 10-person tent. Bro. Do you know that song, Night and Day?
Yeah.
That's how it felt like, yo, night and day.
Difference.
Again, I will provide photo evidence to Mr. Ross, and he will provide reference of size.
You'll be able to see.
Put it up here somewhere.
Yeah, put it up somewhere.
Wherever
just drop it across the screen, whatever.
Maybe
because,
up here, we'll snap it in
yo,
right there.
when I tell you there's a different, you need that space. So this year I had the 10-person tent, which sounds kind of like, bro, you're one man. Why do you need a 10-person tent or whatever? But D made a good point. It's a retreat. And
I look for comfort.
I need that comfort. I'm not trying to be sharing the tent with nobody else.
You don't want to go the old school where you just crawl in that bad boy.
Right.
That's what I have.
Crawl out. That's what he has.
That's what he has. Literally crawl in and crawl out. And it's a whole process that because this tent that I have now will be the standard.
Yeah.
Because I have 3.
Be your standard.
Correction. Thank you for saying that.
Okay.
Not the
right.
standard, my standard. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're right. Because every time I say that, like I spoke to one person the other day, I'm like, yeah, I have a 10-person for myself. And they kind of did why do you have a 10-person tent for yourself?
Yeah.
And I was like, because that's just what I need. And done. No need to go any further.
Yeah.
Actually, talk about going further. I want to go over the topics that we have because we want to keep it nice and sweet for the episode.
All right. Yeah.
Keep everything concise.
What you got in there?
So what we have, this was feedback that we got as far as questions and how do we
like feedback?
Yeah. So this was more question. This was how to pursue personal interest. Example: music, art, fitness, while being an involved dad. Key word here in parentheses is involved dad.
Yeah.
Because I myself know of guys who are like, yo, yeah, man, I have my youth and thing, but you know, his mom kind of handles everything and I can just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Man.
But for all 3 of us here, who am I kidding? For us to get to here right now, the amount of things that had to happen as far as, okay, just the basics of feeding, cleaning, bathing, dressing, getting their kids to a point that will allow them to go to bed nice and easy before we get here.
Oh, man.
That had to happen.
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative to my wife because she understood, hey, they're coming by. Okay. We need to get this done. So I was like, it's not okay, you go ahead and I'll handle it.
Everything,
Because even then, I wouldn't want to do that. I intentionally am choosing to be involved, right? So that's the question that came up. Like, how do you pursue your personal interest while being an involved dad? And I guess my perspective on that, I ain't trying to sound any particular, but I guess strategic time management. No different than what I said earlier in the episode I missed my opportunity to go to the gym this morning. Once that window closes, it ain't opening up again because I can't go during the middle of the day. I can't go after work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I gotta figure it out, and I've realized that the mornings are like the best times.
Yeah.
I am not able to really give any other thing to like, cause I'm not like, I say to Ras all the time, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, you have a certain skill set that I am not jealous of, but I am definitely like, yo, you can sing, you
Yeah.
can act, like all that stuff, $1 million
Yeah.
smile, the whole, multifaceted, all that
Uh-huh.
stuff. And I'm like, I can't even hold a note. If I
We all
draw,
born
I'm
with
drawing
different
stick
gifts, man.
figures, you know, all that type
Well,
of
I
stuff.
can't draw either.
okay,
I'm not that guy. You know, people said I could learn because there's a process to learn how to draw.
Yeah.
And even touching on that topic, like the music part it's harder to navigate, but a lot of times I create the best at night.
Okay.
Because when everybody is asleep,
you're a night owl anyway, aren't you?
I'm
You're a
night owl,
night owl,
yeah.
yeah,
So you
you're
know
a
what I mean?
night
Like when the city is asleep
You're
or the house is asleep, then I get into this zone of pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Like let's be honest, I edit this video, the first episode, throughout the entire night.
Really?
While you know the kids were asleep, and it's not easy, but it's not hard. It is challenging, and it's exactly what you said. It's about timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timing, man.
Because sometimes, like I remember the first night I looked at the video, got the audio, got everything to sync. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, yo, they're going to be up. So if I need energy tomorrow to face the facts of what's going to happen,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
You gotta go to bed.
I gotta go to bed. So at 2:30, I was like, hop into the bed.
Which is
But
so funny.
here comes the kicker. My youngest woke up as soon as I laid in the bed,
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God.
"Oh!"
So woke up needing to be soothed back to bed, or just woke up and
woke up needing to be soothed back to bed, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm trying to go to sleep though.
trying to
man.
go to sleep. I love you, but
So-
why did you choose this moment?
Yeah.
I was up, but right as the moment I laid into that bed, I heard,
oh,
"That it," and I was like,
Yo.
and I was like, "Don't wake your brother up.
Yeah.
Don't wake him up. Let's do this. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? You want milk? You want a tea?"
something.
I was like, "I'm gonna get you a tea. How about
Yeah,
that? Let's go
let's
get you a
just soothe
tea."
you back to bed.
Went
Just
back to
soothe you
getting
back
that
to bed.
chamomile tea.
He's gone.
Dropped a little milk in it, and he was out.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Ugh.
but now it's 3:30. I still need energy.
Yeah.
But
And what time do they wake up?
The oldest, he could sleep. Like he sleeps.
understands the assignment.
No, he's
Yeah.
at the age where
Yeah.
he will sleep till noon if
you
there's
leave
not
him.
a commotion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The youngest, as soon as the sun starts to flicker on his skin, he'll be like,
Yeah, it's up. It's daytime.
Sometime. It's
Yep.
like-
The
it's
sun,
like-
the
it's
the
like,
day is
let's-
awake.
Let me come.
That's
come,
my middle
come,
one, man.
Touch you. Like, what's
Yeah,
up?
yeah,
What's
Hey.
up?
Yeah.
Or I call
What
you.
do you
Dad.
want? What do you
What
want?
do you want?
Nothing. The
the-
guy is awake.
I'm
so I'm
awake.
awake.
The sun's
Yo,
out.
trust
I'm
me.
out.
Yeah,
Let's go.
trust me.
The fitness aspect, though, I would say it is easier because I practice Muay Thai, and it's just like, hey, my oldest knows the routine. Yo, I pick you up from school. We heading up to the gym. I'll vibe out doing extra work that I need to do, whether marketing stuff, figuring out how to do other things, and then you can go ahead, play with the other friends. You can do your class, but as soon as your class is done, my time.
Your time. Yeah.
His dinner is already prepped, so it's in like a thermos or a bag. Everything is set. I was like, "You done? You go eat. I go train. I'm done. We go
go eat,
home.
yeah.
Shower, sleep, go to bed."
How long did it take for you to build that understanding with him?
It was a struggle the first year. The first year
Struggle
he
for
was
who?
for both of
I
us.
can imagine. Yeah.
For both of us, because it was like, and let's be honest, I was doing it alone for most of that year. So it's kind of like, all right, how do I manage this?
Yeah.
And he's going through his emotions, doing
Yeah.
all this, and I was like, all right, cool. We'll just work through it. We'll work through it. We'll see how it goes. Plus, again, he was like, he was a baby. He was 2. Then he was 3. Then he was like working through that, prepping food, coming home. I remember, when we were doing our thing together, it was like I come home, it's like, all right, cool, go
Yeah.
to sleep. I'll be up a little bit, get back up, wake up, boom, on that routine. So it's
For clarity, we used to live together.
I was about to provide context.
I was like,
I was gonna provide context as you express yourself, but thank you, D. You.
yes,
hey,
we
hey,
used to live together.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
they were roommates. They were roommates. They were roommates.
Cheers to
Giving context to the uninitiated.
So I feel like from those years, he kind of learned that there was something coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once he was able to vocalize that, I don't want to go. And I was
Yeah.
like, I know. But I'm trying to, we're building a routine together.
Yeah.
This is our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is culture
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
This is what it
and
is.
this is,
Just wanna pass it
I'm
on
like,
to
I
you.
just want to pass it to you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was like, yo, you don't have to fight. I
That
don't
discipline
care
is what you need.
if you go into the ring or not. You don't have to be nothing like me. But I would love for you to experience what this sport has given me.
Yeah.
And you were already a baby absorbing it. We might as well just keep that routine going.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you get to a teenage years and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, then we're going to find something else that me and you can bond over. But
Yeah.
for right now, you have the skill,
Yeah.
you have the knowledge. Let's just keep practicing.
Keep it. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
So,
And it's funny that you mentioned that because it's tagging away from the question, but I can ask you
Mm-hmm.
as a dad, because I'm not there yet. Like,
yeah.
I'm there,
Yeah.
but in a different dynamic because my oldest, she's into dance. And I'm proud of her for dance.
Mm. Yeah.
But her mom and her connect way more over dance. Because when it's dance competition,
Yeah.
they literally, like, the fathers are relegated to the wall. Like, here's the wall, here's the dad wall, here's the dad wall.
I can see that.
Okay, dads are not allowed to come in. So if it's a heavy bag that we're carrying or whatever we're carrying, it's like, here you go inside.
Oh, that's the thing. Dads can't come in.
Dads can't. What?
Really?
Go where? Bro,
I didn't know that.
giving
No.
context without blowing it out the water as to how dance is, when they're doing changeovers,
Yeah.
some of these dancers don't care. Like, they're getting butt ass
There you go.
naked,
There you go.
just like
I was
Yeah.
when you ask it, and I was like, wait a minute, there is something that
Yeah.
would make sense. And then you
Yeah,
start
yeah,
explaining
they-
it.
But
they
those are
can't-
things that you don't think about
they
when
don't
I'm
think
not
about it.
involved, right?
Yes,
Like, I don't
yes,
have kids
yes.
in dance.
this is what
as
brought
this-
to my attention where it's like,
Yeah.
because I verbalized it, I'm like, it's kind of frustrating that,
Yeah.
I'm there, I came for the drive, I'm there for the competition, but it's like, but imagine all these girls are there participating, and if they're doing 4 or 5 dances in a competition, they're getting changed really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And there isn't that, not that they don't have an awareness, but it's like, okay, it's all
They're
ladies
trying to get it
anyway.
done. Yeah.
They're trying to get it done, right?
Word.
So I understand that. So I'm not there just yet with my son to be able to do like what you're doing, to be
Yeah.
like, yo, this is what
Yeah.
we're into. Like, I'm into basketball.
Yeah.
To sports in general, but love basketball, right? Play it actively, just like D.
Yeah.
And I want to know that will be something that my son will be involved in, and my daughter too. If like Eden asked me, like, Daddy, can you teach me how to play basketball? And I'll say, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'll teach her.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that as much as she'll say, Daddy, can I learn how to play basketball? I don't have to talk to her as much about her dance. Like, she'll actively say, Daddy, can you turn on the radio, please? And she'll be doing dance choreography herself.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm already seeing where
That's
it's like,
beautiful,
okay,
man.
That's blessed.
That's so
okay,
beautiful.
so this is okay. If that's your thing, we're gonna build on that.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So how does that feel like for you right now? How does that feel when you see him like actively putting in that work, and you're like, oh, all right, you're actually good at this. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're giving work to this. Like, is there like, they say dad pride or dad proud?
Oh,
or,
definitely. The sense of pride is high. Not because he's doing what I did, but because he's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where he wanted to get, because there's levels in Muay Thai that how it's constructed in the school that we went to. White shirts, yellow shirts, blue shirts. So he was like, I want to get my yellow shirts. And when he said it to me, I was like,
And so giving context for the uninitiated like myself, yellow shorts is like he's trying to really give effort here, and like
Yes,
like,
he's trying to
advance.
show
He's trying
that
to
he's
advance.
that he can advance the levels.
They're like
'Cause-
belts, right?
Like belts.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the white
advance
shirts
to
is
the
where he
point
starts.
where it's like, okay, if someone messes with me or my little brother, I can do a move, and they'll be like, oh, okay, let's leave this guy alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's already like, yeah. he
I was
knows
about to
something.
get
Yeah.
into it where I was
Go
like,
ahead, go
when
ahead,
he
go
said
ahead.
he was telling the story of him being bullied, and I was like,
We don't condone bullying.
don't condone it.
no,
You
no,
know what I mean?
bullying at all.
Like
But go
we
on,
gotta
yes.
we gotta talk to some of these parents about teaching their kids self-esteem in a different way. You know what I mean? But there was a point where he got bullied a couple of times, and I was like, listen to me, I love you, and you've been learning this art for a little bit. I am okay if you use it in the way that you need to if you're defending yourself.
Yourself.
Yo, sidebar to that. I was talking to somebody about this. I was like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a kid who is submissive or a kid who's ultra aggressive? And I was like, I don't know. I think I'd rather a kid who's ultra aggressive because I'm like, you could tame the aggressiveness, right? Whereas like as a kid who's very, very timid and shy, you almost have to like pull it out of them.
Dig,
And it's a lot
right?
hard.
I almost
Yeah.
go with the word
So
dig.
yeah, so it's like I just saying when you were talking about that, I was kind of thinking about. I was like, yeah, like yo, you know, you can. It's like he already had it, and you just kind of like,
You're trying
yeah,
to
like you go,
Yes.
you know, like, yeah,
And the thing is, I saw it in him from he was young, and I was like, I gotta help him tame that beast.
Oh, because he has,
Yeah.
because he gets angry, he gets upset.
because when he was younger, he would get upset, and then if he can't take that anger out, he turns it on himself.
He turns it on himself. Okay.
And I was like, ooh, okay,
yeah.
this is where you need to be, brother.
Okay.
So I prepped him for it, and I was like, bro, I'm okay. I'm okay if you get into trouble.
I'll defend you.
I will come down there and defend you because
Yeah.
you have told me 3 different stories of things happening.
Yeah.
And
The teacher not doing anything.
there is really nothing more than I've heard apologies, but I'm hearing the same name over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, I love you. And I said to him, like, I'll come to defend you, and you already know how your mom gets.
yeah.
It'll just be me and you.
So
be me and
let's just know if you have to defend yourself, do it, because your mom is gonna wild out
Yeah.
if something happens to you. So I'm like, defend yourself if needed.
Yeah.
Then call me.
Then call me. Let them call me. I'll come down there and stand behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
You know what I
Because
mean?
the good thing is, from what you're saying, he's already given you context and feedback
Yeah.
as far as like this has been happening. This
Yes.
didn't just come out
Come
of
out of
nowhere.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you as the parent now can come in and say, well, my son has brought this to my attention about this child multiple times, and nothing was done.
Yeah.
He simply was defending
Defending
himself.
himself. Yep.
When it comes to that, when it comes to the kid, I'm all about shoot first, ask questions later. I'll figure it out after
Figure
the
it
fact.
after.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If you were to bully, I can always discipline you and put you in check. Because that's one thing we do not stand for is bullying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Period, point blank. And then, you know, like we can deal with it from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to the kids and like when they're at school and stuff, a lot of teachers and stuff, they're very passive. Like, you know, and
True.
everything, they don't want to tell you this and this and that and whatever.
I gotta give context as far as not that they're passive, Daniel, but it's like, yo, man, when you got 30 plus kids,
Of
that
course.
you have to
Of
deal
course.
with.
Yes.
I gotta say it in a reference having teachers within our family,
Yeah.
having friends who are teachers, and like, you know, it's not an easy career. It's not an easy job in any way, shape, or form. Shout out to all the teachers out there. Enjoy your summer break.
Salute.
Because you deserve it. Because, man,
It's hard.
when you're dealing with all that, it's tough. So it's not that they're passive. It's just like,
And I'm not saying passive in a negative way. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that they deal with things because they're not dealing with their own kids.
right, exactly.
Yes.
Right? And that brings to the topic that I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
That I was thinking, how do you deal with kids that are misbehaving that are not yours?
Oh.
Right? Like that is one of those major things. But
For episode 3.
yeah, we have to definitely get into that. But like, yo, I understand. That's why I feel like they're passive when it comes to certain things. So it's like when my kid reacts and they call me in, that's when I'll find out everything that's going on.
Yeah,
Because usually
yeah,
when your kid's getting bullied, you don't get the call.
don't know.
No.
Your
Yeah.
kid tells you the story.
Right.
That's what I mean by
Exactly.
passive.
And that's
It's not the teacher calling you,
You,
saying,
yeah.
"Hey, this is."
But if my
happening,
kid
blah, blah, blah.
reacts, then they'll call me, and then I'll
that's
kind of
the
figure out what happens.
annoyance that I have.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I mean? Because when I said it to him, I was like, I didn't get an email.
There was no feedback.
There was another situation that happened that his mom called me about, and it was like a kid talking about the color of his skin, and we all know how that feels, bro.
yeah.
That one got me in my when his mom said it, and I was like,
You're like, I want to go punch a kid in the face.
yo, I was like, whoo.
Yo, trust me.
And it wasn't like punch the kid. I wanted to
punch
slap
the
the parents.
I
You know what I mean?
don't
Because
wanna
it was
cheers
like-
to you,
I don't
but
know, bro.
wanna
Sometimes I
side-
feel like they can both get it.
I
bro.
don't
it-
condone,
I feel
you
like,
know what I
yo,
mean? But
they
it's
both
like,
can get
Yo,
it.
trust me.
where do you not find the boundary to understand we are in 2020?
Yeah,
At the
yeah,
time, it was
yeah.
2022 or 2023, and I was like,
Yo, just remember one thing: racism isn't dead, bro.
like
Yeah.
where's
it's
your
not
mindset?
dead. It's just quiet.
It's just it's something.
quiet.
How is
agree.
this okay? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
I had to sit him in the car one time when I played Nas Ultra Black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there was like, and that's the thing. It was the day that he told me himself was the day that the Chronic song was playing. They never told us that Black is
Black is
beautiful.
beautiful,
And
yeah.
then right after that song, the Ultra Black song played. And then he was like, Daddy, why are they constantly talking about black? And I was like, because us as a people didn't have a fair shape back in the day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, kind of like when the kid said my skin looks like poop. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then when me and his mom talked, she
brought it up to you. Yeah.
expound on it. And I was like, listen,
Yeah.
what you have on your body, that skin, royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody tell you nothing about that.
You want to
because
know? Yeah,
that's royalty.
That's royal. Yeah, you gotta
step out in the sun, you can soak that bad boy up.
But how do you teach your kid to appreciate their skin, but also appreciate the diversity of everybody else?
Example. My personal opinion.
Yeah.
Be the example.
Yeah.
Right now, I have my youngest, and I'm seeing even my older daughters. We might not realize they're watching us, but they are watching us
Yeah.
like hawks.
Yeah.
The problem that, and I don't even want to use the word problem, is that when we break it down, we wake up in the morning. I try and wake up and give my kids enough time to get ready and go through the day, go through the morning. But sometimes it's a rush.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to, be easygoing. Sometimes it's like, all right, hey, I gotta
gotta
make you
go.
some food.
Yeah.
We gotta go. We gotta get on the bus. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. And they spend an average of about 6 hours at school with we don't know who.
Yeah.
We have an idea of who, but we don't know who. And then they come home, and depending on the dynamic that you're into, if you're working from home, you still got to work.
Yeah.
And, we still are all dealing with our own respective stuff.
Yeah.
Going back again to episode 1 of unpacking.
Yeah.
Some of us haven't unpacked. Some of us haven't created that level of reflection and awareness to know, okay, I need to be better. And it creates just this thing because the other day, both my girls, oh my gosh, came home and they were asking like, oh, Daddy, what does this mean? What does F word mean? What does MF mean? And I'm like, where are you hearing this? She's like, oh, on the bus, I hear the kids talking and da-da-da. And I had to give context as to be like, unfortunately, girls, different households operate
Differently.
in different ways.
Yeah.
Do you hear mommy and daddy talking like that? No, we don't hear mommy and daddy talking like that because mommy and daddy make the choice not to. We don't speak in that type of way.
Yeah.
The option, I don't even want to say the option is there, but that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah,
the
right,
option
right,
is
right,
there.
right.
We've been around enough people that every other word is a cuss word. And then
true,
we have
true,
other
true.
times where you could, like in an environment like this, sure, we'll keep it PG-16. There might be a bomb here or there, but for the most part, is pretty solid. We
Yeah,
try,
well, yeah, it's
we
not
try
every
and
other
keep
word.
it high level with the language, right?
Of course, of course.
We don't try and degrade or do anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it's the example, and I'm constantly saying that to my kids,
Yeah.
and it's going to be even more interesting saying it to my son, because as men, we know the challenges that you can go through, you can experience.
Yes.
Being put in certain situations that even if you're not the aggressor, you automatically
become-
you can become
yeah.
the aggressor, and
Yes,
it's
yes,
frustrating.
yes,
It is because you have to kind of mind the way you step,
Right.
especially like I learned this growing up, and this is why like now I think the way I think. So I've always been a bigger guy, you know, like by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not a 6'5", 200 pounds, but like just I've always been big.
6'3", 200
You,
pounds.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I've always been big. Like, I've always had size. I've never been a skinny dude or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
And I realized that, like, I'll get into fight and I could be provoked. And I might fight, and then at the end, everybody's looking at me like,
You are the
why
bad
did you
person.
do something? And I was like, yo, this person, but why did you hit the, why did you? And I was just, and it used to throw me for a loop. I was always be like, what do you mean? Why did I, like,
Why
I'm
did I
defending
defend
myself, like,
myself?
you know, like,
Right.
what the heck? And it's just because I'm bigger than another person, or because I'm big, the person might be the same size as me, but because I am showing a certain level of aggression at a certain point,
Right.
because everybody who knows me knows it takes kind of a bit for me to get upset.
Yeah.
But then like when I get to that point, it's kind of like
The fuse has been lit.
like
Sorry,
you know, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's no.
Yeah. There's no calm down unless it's just
Yeah.
explosion, and then after. Yeah,
And I
get
think
it.
I'm more upset because I'm like, yo, I know as a person, I know how chill I am, and I'm just like, yo, you really were just
You're pushing.
You're on
yeah,
some, bro.
like
You're on
bro,
some.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You were doing
yeah.
the most.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
You know, so yeah.
I get that. It is something to be said as far
Being
as
aware
actual
of
awareness.
yeah,
I
awareness is
agree.
important. Yeah,
And trying to teach my kids that now,
Yeah.
because they'll fight with each other, and I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing? Like, all you have is each other. Like, we all have siblings,
Yeah.
and I can speak for myself. I would love to know that a relationship with my respective siblings could be better, but I know time, distance,
yeah.
upbringing,
Upbringing, yeah, yeah,
environment,
yes. Yeah.
all that stuff.
Growth in life.
Growth in life, choices.
yeah.
Choices can make it or break it, as far as like, yo, all right, yeah, I got my sibling here,
Yeah.
but we're not on the same page. Or, yo, I got my friend over here, or, yo, he has his brother over there, and they're just vibing. And
Yeah.
you just never know, right? Ultimately, it all comes back to like that self-awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being the best version of myself, because especially now that we have all these kids, I'm aware that they're looking at me. They're
Oh,
looking
for
at
sure.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. For
It's
sure.
the funniest thing, like having my girls. I know that they're looking at me,
Yeah.
but it's weird. I recognize that they're looking at their mom even harder, 10 times harder. Now that I have my
Boy. Oh,
You
man.
realize, yeah.
do you not,
You're
realize
gonna
that's
be
part
now.
of the setup? Who was wanting to be out here the
Yeah,
most?
most, yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't want. His sisters could care less.
Yeah.
He was like, Daddy.
Daddy, yeah.
I want
yeah.
like.
Let me see what you're doing.
I want to
Let me
see what you're doing. I want to be here.
I want to be here.
I want to be here. Don't get me wrong. My oldest asked, "Why can't we be outside? Why is it only my brother can be outside?" And I was like, "That wasn't intentional, baby. Like, you were in the middle of something. You were doing something."
Yeah.
But it's that example, man. I'm strong on being that example, and it's just what it is.
Yeah.
One episode, what I want us to do is go through a chance for us to respectively go through Reddit. Like, I don't know if have you guys ever dived into the Reddit stories and had a chance to listen to the different ones that are out there for how siblings have done their other siblings so wrong?
Bro, I don't need Reddit for that. I done seen people do that, and I'm like, bro, you all know. Preface this too. And I take this pretty seriously.
Real time.
Because my
Real
brother,
time.
my brother died,
Yeah.
right? Like, so like my oldest brother, like one of my biggest role models in my life, passed away,
Right.
You know. And when we go back to talk about being black and stuff like that, he was killed by police,
Yeah.
right? So it's like that just awareness of being black came to me from a very young age because people were explained that to me about police
For
brutality,
Yeah.
people being black,
Misunderstanding.
exactly, right? And like
Mental health also was a
mental
big
health was a
factor.
big thing. Was a big
Not-
thing.
So that should say not as big back then. Because
Right,
I
But
remember,
no, exactly, yeah.
I remember
Exactly.
it cut
Exactly.
deep, cut
Yep,
levels
yep,
of deepness
Yep.
of what was happening, and then to hear the news, and it was like, yo,
Yeah.
for real.
But just to kind of like, so when I see just like losing a sibling,
Yeah.
I see how important having a sibling is.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I
yeah.
see people intentionally do dirt to their siblings,
like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like,
when I see my kids bicker sometimes,
Man.
I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like that's your dog, that's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
everything. Like, yo, you
Yeah,
know that's
yeah.
the person you should treat.
Yeah.
When these guys said, so I give one of them a chocolate, and I didn't even. It's not even like one gets one and the others don't. I didn't even get around to giving the others yet. The other one goes back. Like I'm like, yo, why would you not
Oh,
go
you-
and
yeah.
break him a piece and say,
break it,
yo,
give it to
you know?
them. Yeah,
or
yeah,
I would've
strategically say, "Daddy, I got one. What about like,
Exactly.
like, play it off? Like,
Yeah,
you know?
why is it that I'm not getting it?
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
To your point, and I can definitely give credit to the parenting. My kids take the bus,
Yeah.
and there was last day of school. After a while, when you drop kids off on the bus, parents start to, we start to congregate, start to know who each other is, and realize, all right, this is a good little community. Really appreciate it. Literally looking out for everybody's kid.
Right.
Like,
Community.
okay, hold on. I know that kid. His parents should be here. Oh, there he is. Okay, all right. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. Hey, I don't see your parent. Stay right here.
Yeah.
Let's wait for a second because your parent or
And
your
you'll
parent-
wait with them.
and they can play. No, like it's a parking lot. So
Yeah.
the parent will be like, hey, we don't see your parent, so go play, and we're kind of we're waiting. Like we're literally waiting around, and the parent shows up like 5-6 minutes later. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Da 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 da. Well, you have the other kids who will take off and like
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
because they're older.
Yeah.
So I give that preface. So we have the last day of school, and the parents kind of come together and say, "Hey, let's do something nice. Let's do something nice. Get some bubbles and get a little barbecue going or a little grill or whatever." And we did that. And one of the kids came off the bus, saw what was happening, and I guess his aunt or someone said, "No, we gotta go." And he's like, "Can we come back?" And she's like, "Yeah, if your mom brings you back, that's fine."
Yeah.
So he came back, got a chance to play. He was having a great time, all that stuff, whatever. And now it's time to kind of settle down to get going. And we're like, hey, do you want anything? And he took a second and he stopped and he thought about it. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, why is he taking so long to decide? And he took one and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this one for my brother. I'm going to take this one for my sister. Because he has siblings. And I kind of realized it after the fact. He's pennying it as far as like, okay, let me see how much kids are over there. Who else is going to take?
Okay,
Because I
okay,
want to
one
be able to
table,
have
for my
enough for my siblings. He did it 3 separate times. We did it with freezies, chips, and I think it was some type of cookie. Each time he took it and
Yeah,
said,
it's
hey,
not about his siblings.
I
It's
got
not about his sibling.
automatically thought about his siblings.
That's a beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
a-
beautiful thing.
and I was
It's
like,
good. That's a good
that
thing to
was
see and feel.
wicked.
Because you ever see those siblings when they're older that they're tight,
Bond?
Yeah,
they're
yes.
tight.
And-
That was from when they were kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like that didn't just happen, right? Like
And that's one of the things that when I came here to Canada and people were using the term, oh, that's my half brother, that's my half sister. I was like,
It didn't make sense.
yeah,
Bro.
what are you
Make it
saying
make
to me?
sense, yeah.
Oh, no, because they have a different mom and I have a different mom.
Yeah, well,
and
siblings, man.
we just have the same dad. I was like, at the end of the day, y'all brothers
Your
and sisters.
brothers, yeah.
The half
That's
thing
it. Yeah,
doesn't make
yeah,
sense to me
yeah.
because I will ride for my
Yeah, yeah.
half brother as much as I was ride for my brother.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But see how funny that sounds,
that doesn't
though?
make no sense
That's
to
one
me.
thing I'll give credit for the Jamaican upbringing.
Yeah.
Is that half thing? That half thing didn't really work out. Nothing. It's like,
Bro.
oh, this is your brother.
this is your brother.
This is your brother.
This is your brother.
sibling.
This is your
What do you-
sibling.
like,
That's it.
There's no half nothing.
There's no
yeah,
half,
it's your
yeah,
brother.
that's
There's no
Yeah,
half.
yeah, yeah.
I don't care.
Trust me, yeah.
What line it cross?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
your brother.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
your sibling.
yeah, facts.
I don't rock
It's
that
important for
way.
us to teach them even now, like to continue
Bro.
to. There's no
same
half,
same
this, that,
mentality.
yeah.
That's the one thing that I realized that family's family. You know what I mean? And with my kids, I was like, yes, these are your uncles, and they'd be like, but they're not your blood brothers. And I was like, yeah, but they're my chosen family outside of the family I'm related to.
There's blood
So
and then there's chosen.
this is uncle, this is family. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, if something was to happen, those guys that you
They're
see
gonna
there
come
that I
and-
called,
yeah.
they're gonna come check for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're
I
gonna
honestly
come
wish that
see if
people
you're
would
alright.
take, even myself, I gotta call myself out, taking more pride in that. Like when someone chooses you as your family, or when you,
Yeah.
when more so when you and someone else choose each other as family.
Yeah.
Like that's a big
That's a
thing.
big
like
thing.
we've chosen each other. Like you and I, we've chosen each other as
all
family.
three
All three of
Yeah.
us.
All
Yeah.
three of
Because
us.
realistically,
Because
you know what I'm saying?
how many years is it, Russ? Close to 20?
We're in 2024.
yeah.
Yeah, 18.
No.
No, lies.
It
It's
is.
over 20.
It's 22
21.
years.
22 years.
Yeah,
22 years.
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lord.
it's 22 years.
Yeah.
And we've been chosen family, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how
That's how
we've
it's
lived.
been right.
That's what I was saying. And it's been
It's been like that.
Yeah.
It's been
You know?
like that. No, which is blessed.
So-
Because it's. It was funny how you just said it. Where you're like, you don't need Reddit for it. But like, I was trying to give context as far as like how people do each other bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I talk to my wife and just say how blessed we are for the, community,
Yeah.
for the bubble
Yeah.
that we have,
Mhm.
and it goes back again to that example we're trying to set for our kids, because at no point in time do I ever want to have someone say, "Oh no, we're not gonna go over to their house," or "No, we don't want to be involved or interact with them."
Yeah,
And then the list and reason could be whatever it could be.
yeah.
I've recognized that all the individuals, like, there is that commonality. There is that, like, you know what? You are a good parent. You are striving to be the best version of yourself. Yeah, no one's perfect. I get that.
yeah.
But it does tie into that.
The effort's there.
The
Yeah.
effort is there.
Yeah.
Because it ties back to the question of, like, how do you manage your extracurriculars, fitness, and everything?
Yeah.
As a parent, as a dad, it goes back again. You got to be that example for your kids.
Yep.
Because after
It's
a while,
it's the only way they see
Yeah.
what it really means.
What it means, yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like-
let's be honest, they're not listening to us.
No,
Yeah,
They're seeing it.
They're
versus,
seeing it.
versus they're listening.
But
to
there,
Yeah, they
there's
just
a
mimic what we
point
do.
in them that they're absorbing the information without hearing what we have to say.
Yeah.
And the absorbing of that information is watching.
Yeah.
Because even tying back my son to Muay Thai, there is moves that I didn't actually physically teach him that he started to do without like direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I remember like his Tito had was like, hold on to my head, throw a knee, and then his knee pointed straight to the sternum, and then his Tito like looked over at me and was like, you seen this? And I was like, he's 3.
Yeah.
How does he know to point his knee like that? And I never taught him that. But
He probably
watching
saw it.
me on the
Watching,
bag,
watching, yeah. Yep.
he absorbed that information.
Yeah. No, honestly,
And
yeah.
that's the best way.
It's the best way you can, because at the end of the day, like, you're his role model.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when he's watching you, he's aspiring. Like, aspiration is one of those things where it's like, I'm aspiring to be like
you.
Yeah.
Right?
Whether we
Like,
know it or not.
whether you know it
You're
or not.
not.
So,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
anybody who you've seen has become great, they are aspiring to be like someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if Kobe was aspiring to be like Jordan. Jordan was trying to be like what? Irving? Julius Irving?
Yeah,
Something.
true.
You know what I'm
true,
saying?
true.
Like, all these guys were like, yo, like, I wanted to be like someone else. So it's like, when your son is looking up to you, it's 10 times more powerful than that. Like, when your kid is taking interest in it, it's like, yo, like, I want to be just like my dad.
Yeah.
Imagine how, like,
It's a nice feeling
that's
to
a
have.
feeling, bro.
It's a nice feeling
That's
to
a
have.
feeling.
It's a nice feeling to have.
Bro, like, my kids right now, they all show me their muscles. So like, yo, Logan and Noah, these guys are always like,
Like,
show me your muscles. They're like, yo, you know, they hold their muscles up and show, and you know, and my oldest Jazzy, she's like, she looked at me the other day, and I picked her up because I went to Jamaica and I came back. So you're on vacation, you're eating, you're drinking, whatever, right? So that's I was doing all the foolishness. While I was there, I was still hitting the gym, whatever. I was doing. And then I came back, and I was wearing like a black muscle shirt when I picked her up. So she's like, "Whoa, Daddy, your muscles got bigger when you were there. Like your muscles got bigger." But then she saw the little like alcohol gut, and she's like, "But you've been eating a lot of cheesecakes and cakes, right?" And she like started patting my belly. I was like, "Yo, chill out, kid. Chill out. Like fall back." You know what I'm saying? Because she started, but
she brought you back to reality.
She brought me back to reality real quick. But like,
I'll be mindful of no cheesecakes and alcohol.
No alcohol. But I was like, you know what? It is what it is. You know what it is? I took note in that situation because I was like, the honesty I want from my wife, my daughter gave it to me, and I was not ready for it. No. Because I always ask my wife, I look fat. Like, am I gaining weight? And she's like, no, babe, I love you the way you are.
The way you are.
And I was like, and then my daughter told me, she's like, yeah, your muscles looking big, but your belly's. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, bro, like,
she came at you good.
She came at me, man. And I was like, wow. But yeah, man. But like to tie it back into like that, the conversation we initially were having, just about like achieving your goals while having children and having a wife or having just having a household in general. Like, I think the major point is awareness.
Yeah.
Right? Like to know when you are doing too much. And I think that's something that like I struggled with a lot. Yeah. Is like I have my goal. I don't want to miss a day at the gym, or I don't want to miss a day on doing this or that, whatever the goal is. You got to realize that you have another person or people who are looking for your attention, and also have like more so like when you're talking about your wife, she has her own goals that she may want to achieve. Yeah. And you taking up all the time doing your goals takes away from her goals, right?
No, that's another thing.
So you got to be aware, and then you also have to sacrifice. Right? Like you also have to sacrifice sometimes, be like, all right, like, I know I typically want to hit a gym 3 times a week.
Right.
I hit twice. Tonight, wife wants to chill, watch a movie, have some popcorn, have some wine.
That's another conversation.
All right, like, like I can't go at night, or I have to make sure I wake up really early. I have to sacrifice a little bit of sleep to get up early enough to go, or I have to stay up really late in order to get something in, right? So it's all about sacrifice. Anything's possible, but you just got to sacrifice. You got to look at your situation and be like, all right, like, how can I kind of move around this? Because right now, I've been in the gym for about 3 years now, right? Consistent, and I tailor the workout that works out for me perfectly. It's a 3-day full body split, right? Yeah. So I go to the gym 3 times a week. I have a power day. I have a majority of leg day.
Should someone be paying for this content, Dan?
Yeah, someone could be paying for this.
Should someone be paying for this information?
You're welcome. Yeah, so
continue.
And then I have a majority upper day where it's like, like I'm doing, but they're all full body. So I incorporate full body all the whole week, right? And as I do that, and as I continue to grow, like I gotta make sure that I'm being mindful of like, all right, like am I doing too much, or what times are good for me, or whatever. So those 3 days, I work overnight. I have to sacrifice sleep sometimes if I want to do that, right? So when I'm coming home from work in the morning and everybody's gone to school, I'm going to the gym. So when they come home, I'm up.
This was good. Definitely looking forward to more content later on. But really appreciate you guys for sharing your insights, sharing your stories, being open. Yeah. And, let's just have this platform where we can be unscripted. Let it be put out there so that as time progresses, whenever our kids are able to digest this information and be like, oh, so that's what my dad was about. That's what my dad was up to. That's how he felt about me. Because you saying earlier that you love your kid is a blessing.
Yeah.
Being able to say that and say that confidently.
And that I'm proud of him.
And that you're proud of him, that's a big step in the right direction. I mean? So we're happy for that. Yeah. And I know all 3 of us can say confidently that we love our kids.
Oh, 100%.
Unconditionally.
1,000,000%.
even when they just do stuff like my second one today, just I had to run. I put her in punishment, unfortunately, or not punishment, but timeout. I put her in a timeout, but I do a different timeout as far as like, hey, here's a piece of paper. You know, I'm not even gonna just. We'll talk about that.
Like just to kind of concur with that, bro. Like I actually, my oldest gave trouble today.
Yeah.
And the punishment regime of the oldest of them, like they do. So she had to squat on the wall with a bag of soil.
Yeah.
In her arms like this.
Yeah.
And then she had to plank. Then she had to run on the spot, feet to butt, and then she had to switch from feet to butt to knees to chest.
Oh snap!
Yeah, so she got a whole fitness thing, and she just ran until she squatted until I was ready to tell her to stop. She planked until I was ready to tell her to stop, and then she ran until pretty much she was ready. And then after that was a shower, and then you're grounded in your room. Mm-hmm. So she's sleeping. Yeah, like she's like yo, like
she's out.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Trust me, I totally understand, and I had to go up to her afterwards, and I'm like, I looked over her because she's the type that when she's upset, she's upset.
Yeah.
Don't come try say nothing to her. Give her time.
Yeah.
But I still saw in that moment where I went over, kissed on her neck, and I'm like, Daddy still loves you no matter what.
Yeah.
Even though you put yourself in this position, I love you no matter what. You might not like me right now, but I still love you no matter what.
Regardless.
And it's an important message to share to them because as they get older, it's gonna. You want to still show it, but we appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
Appreciate
What's
you,
the
gentlemen.
purpose?
What's the purpose? Dad's Unscripted.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to another episode. And we'll see you guys later.
Love you guys.